Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Manning Field for opening game of the season for St. Mary's football. We're going to have Anaya Mayette is going to sing the anthem here, get us underway. Anaya Mayette, cheerleader for St. Mary's, with a great rendition of the national anthem. Getting us started here, St. Mary's first football game. Non-league, they're taking on Boston English. Coach Sean Driscoll in his second year, taking over from Matt Durgan. They lost a lot of firepower. Boston English is going to kick off. St. Mary's is going to get the football first. Second game played here at Manning Field. Lynn Tech played last week, opening up. Everybody is in vogue this week. Glasgow's going to, this being a rare Thursday night football game. Tomorrow night, Glasgow will be here taking on Brockton. Tech is on the road against Neshoba, and a big one in the conference, Lynn English on the road. They tried an onside kick, flag on the play. I think Boston English was offside. They'll refuse that. St. Mary's will take the ball at midfield. Looking for an onside kick, trying to get advantage right off the bat. I'm sure it was Boston English that was offside. Now, I have to say they'll take the ball there, but they make, and they do, they wind up a 5-yard penalty. No, they're not. They're going to re-kick. I don't know why. There are 248 rule changes going from MIA high school football to federation rule changes. They only have 3 timeouts. It's a 4-minute warning instead of a 2-minute warning. And the hash marks you see out here on this field right now are not legal. They can't change them, of course. They're not supposed to be there. They're supposed to be a little closer to the sidelines. So I didn't think Boston English recovered that. but if they did, that may be why they're re-kicking. I don't know why St. Mary's didn't take the ball at midfield. It bounces off the St. Mary's player. They'll fall on it at about the 32 or 33 yard line. They kicked a little bit of a line drive. They'll put it to 33. And that's where St. Mary's will put it in play. Off the right side across the 35 yard line.
On the plate, second down and 6, ball for St. Mary's 37.
4 yards on the play. They run it off the right side.
George Percy, the ball carrier. 44, Maurice Ford in on the tackle.
They put it, we'll call it the 41 and give him 4.
Ball for St. Mary's 41.
Third and a couple. O'Leary was the quarterback last year when they went to the Super Bowl. A lot of new faces in there for St. Mary's this year, especially in the backfield. O'Leary keeps, runs it straight ahead, gets across the 45 for a first down. So Derek O'Leary picks up the first down of the year for St. Mary's. He picked up 5.
First down. DeAndre Ball in on the tackle.
First and 10 from the 46.
46-yard line.
Good look at Coach Driscoll there. Came over from Winthrop, where he had a very good career as head coach over there. Tough shoes to fill for Matt Durgan, but he's done a nice job. Looking to throw. They lob it up. It's going to get picked off at the 35-yard line. That was a little bit of a prayer they threw up.
Derek O'Leary's pass intercepted by number 1, Andrew Jerry White. Boston English takes over first and 10. Ball
White
midfield strike.
and Jordy picked that up.
Correction, St. Mary's 48.
And they'll start at the St. Mary's 48-yard line. So he lobbed that up. A little bit of a prayer throwing it up, and it wasn't answered. Well, the other, of course, rule changes is 12-minute periods instead of 11. Power eye backfield with a receiver to the near side. Running it off that far side. They're close. Maybe they have a first down.
John Kerr, the ball carrier.
Keyshawn Kerr.
8 of 9 on the plate. Second down and 1. Ball to St. Mary's 39.
He gave him 9 to the 39. So it'll be second and 1. Washington English in their bright white uniforms. The whiteout goes to the far side this time. St. Mary's jumps, and that's another rule. They didn't make contact, but they still don't have a chance to get back without making contact. Once you break the plane, it's a penalty.
First and 10. Boston English. Ball to St. Mary's 34 yards.
So that gives Boston English a first down at the 34-yard line. Again, the wideout goes to the far side. Now they break that power eye. They run it off the right side. DeAndre Ball
DeAndre Ball, the ball carrier.
gets it to the 31.
Jack Bard in on the tackle.
2nd and 7 for the Eagles of Boston English. I mentioned
Gain of 3 on
Sean
the play.
Driscoll, the coach. Ryan Conway is the head guy
31.
for English. Again, the wideout goes to the far side. They go back to that power eye. Off the left side. Keyshawn Kerr
Tackled by a host of St. Mary's defenders.
inside the 30 to the 28.
Gain of 3 on the play.
3rd and just about 4. Wideout comes to the near side. They try to run it to the outside. They had him. They get him again. They get him short of the first down.
Luke McDonald, the ball carrier. Gain of about 2 on the play.
It was Luke McDonald with the carry. He got it to the 26 for a pickup of 2.
Off the St. Mary's 26.
4th down and 2. So the first big play of the ball game comes now. They go to that power eye. They run it straight ahead, and looks like they got the first down. Tyrese Ford.
And a first down, 1st and 10 Boston English. Off the St. Mary's.
They needed 2. They got 3. So they convert on 4th down. I looked at the Boston English roster. They had 22 listed as running backs. They've used most of them on this first drive. Last man through off the right side. Getting pushed back was Keyshawn Kerr. But not before he got inside the 20 to the 19. He picked up 4.
Jack Bard in on the tackle.
St. Mary's picked up 1 first down,
Down in 7.
but then threw an interception.
St. Mary's 20 yard.
This will be the 7th play of the drive as the wideout comes to the near side. A wing to the near side. They break that power eye. Quarterback keep a yard, maybe 2. Jackie Smith. They give him a yard to the 18. It's going to be 3rd and just about 5. Obviously in 4 down territory here. I don't know if they have a kicker. Wide out to the far side, along with the wing. And now one of the running backs in the backfield moved. It's going to cost them 5.
Penalty against Boston English for a false start.
Now it's going to be 3rd and 10.
And we'll make it a 3rd and 10. Off the St. Mary's 24 yard line.
And Mary's defense trying to shore it up, shut them down. Boston English used a lot of this first period. Closing in on 4 minutes when they snapped the football. Left in the period, they go back to that power eye. Off the left side, not going anywhere. George Percy made the initial hit.
Andrew Guerrero, the ball carrier.
He lost back to the 24.
Loss of about 2 on the play. They were making up a 4th and 12.
4th and 11
5.
from the 24. Wide out comes to the near side. And we got a timeout called by St. Mary's. This will be the 9th play coming up. They got helped out by a St. Mary's penalty. St. Mary's picked up 1 first down. And then they threw that pass that got picked off by Ann Jordy. It's funny, his first name is White. .341 left in this first period. This drive started at the St. Mary's 48-yard line after the pick by Ann Jordy. Now it's come down to 4th and 11 from the 24-yard line. Again, the wideout comes to the near side. Running off the left side. He's going to be close. Keyshawn Kerr.
Sean Kerr, the ball carrier.
He came up short by about a yard.
St. Mary's will take over 1st and 10. Ball through on 14-yard line.
He needed the 13-yard line. He got to the 14. He picked up 10. He needed 11. So they pick up a couple of first downs along the way. 1 off the St. Mary's penalty. St. Mary's runs it off that right side.
George Percy, the ball carrier.
Percy with the carry.
Gain almost 5 on the play. 2nd down and 5. Ball
Just about to the 19 for a pickup of 5. Under 3 minutes as they get set to snap the ball. Coming to the near side, slipping a tackle, and then getting ripped and thrown back.
Ellie Barry, the ball carrier. There is a flag on the play.
Derek Kalangis.
Correction, Salafleto carry.
Flag on the play.
Penalty against Boston English for a face mask.
A face mask penalty moves it to the 35.
Penalty will result in a St. Mary's first down. 1st and 10 St. Mary's. Ball through on 35-yard line.
So they gained a yard on the play, but then they get 15 on the face mask. Gets them a first down. O'Leary trying to run straight ahead.
Derek O'Leary on the key.
Not going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Tackle by number 33, Ellery to serve.
He loses a couple.
Loss of 1 on the play. 2nd down and 11.
Second and 12.
34-yard line.
So 2nd and 12 from the 33. Keep everybody in tight. Running it to the right side. Almost lost his balance, but then got it back. Percy stayed up. Picked up some decent yardage.
Tripped up by number
Gets out to the 42. He picked up 9. So it's going to be 3rd and 3 for the Spartans.
They're going away 3rd and 3 off the St. Mary's 42.
Final minute of this first period. Percy again off the right side. Not going to get close.
Percy on the
Second effort. Got him
Josiah Jean on
back to the line of scrimmage. You looked, he was going to lose yardage. No gain on the play. So it's going to be 4th and 3.
Play remaining up a 4th and 2.
St. Mary's is going to go. As the clock winds down. They go double wing under center. And Boston English just jumped. And that's going to give St. Mary's a first down. You don't have to make contact. All you do is break the plane.
Turning against Boston English for offside. Penalty. Rory's out to the first down. 1st and 10 St. Mary's. Off their own 47
So
yards.
both teams have given up the other a penalty with that encroachment. The period is going to run out.
That is the end of the first quarter. With your score, we have 0.
So we started even. We ended the first period even. St. Mary's nothing. Boston English nothing. At the end of 1. Just about set to start the second period. St. Mary's has the football. They just wound up with a first down because Boston English jumped. The new rule, they even without contact, it's automatic 5 yards. They get the first down. They have it at their own 47-yard line. Trying to run off the right side, not going to go anywhere.
Percy the ball carrier.
They're going to lose a yard back to the 46.
And we just threw them on the carry. No gain on the play.
So it'll be 2nd down and 11 from the 46. Early moments of the second period here at Manning Field. Again, they keep everybody in tight. They try to run off the left side, not going anywhere.
Alafrido, the ball carrier. Josiah Jean on the tackle. Loss of 2 on the play. They will bring up a 3rd and 12 ball from the St. Mary's 45.
They lost another yard, so it's going to be 3rd and 12. O'Leary brings the play back from the sideline. Dropping back, looking to throw. They let it fly deep again. Almost picked off again. He threw it in traffic.
O'Leary pass. Intended for Percy.
They let it fly.
5. Donovan Solomon.
Very good coverage by Donovan Solomon. St. Mary's will have to kick it away.
They will bring up a 4th and 12. Marcus Burns and Perez punting.
high kick. Takes a bit of a Boston English bounce. St. Mary's finally falls on it at about the 34-yard line of Boston English.
Takes over first and 10. Ball from their own 34-yard line.
They'll put it at the 34. And Boston English will have it for the second time. They drove deep and then came up short after they had a first down at the St. Mary's 23. A penalty cost them. And then they came up a yard shy of picking up the first down. They're holding up while they put the change in place. Seven seconds over 2 minutes into this second period. The wideout comes to the near side. They try to run straight ahead with the fullback, nothing doing there. Got piled up by blue shirts. Back at the 34 for no gain. So 2nd and 10. Lost about a half a football. They send the wide out to the far side. They go back in that power eye. Now we got a whistle. And Boston English is going to take a timeout. So the wheel's turning on both sides. Use those timeouts. That's another change. You only get 3 timeouts instead of 5. St. Mary's talking defense on one side, Boston English offense on the other side. Mike Phelps in the middle of that used to be the head coach at Classical. Moved over, now an assistant with Sean Driscoll. He moved over and became an assistant with Matt Durgan. That was a big help for Sean Driscoll staying on and having a guy who is familiar with the program along with a couple of the other coaches. So 2nd and 10 as we get back to football. The wideout goes to the far side. They stay in that power eye. They have a problem with the chain. I don't know if it got stuck or you want to make sure it's a full 10 yards. Official making sure it is. So now we're back to football. 9 minutes straight up left in the second period, no score. It's a non-league football game. Trying to run off the right side, hit and nailed in the backfield. Nick Nowak was one of the first guys that hit him.
2 on the play. They're down at 12.
Back to about the 32. The pitch, trying to come to the near side, lost the football, picked up at the 29-yard line. Flag on the play, that could be for the celebration. He just popped up in the air. That's a lineman's dream.
Boston English fumble recovered by the 55, Tony Bello.
Tony Bello
There's a flag on the play.
picked up the loose ball. It just popped in the air. At the 29-yard line. They lost 3 yards on the play. They coughed the ball up. There was a flag at the end. I thought it might be for the celebration. But actually it was against Boston English. So they're penalized to the 7-yard line. The penalty gives them a first down. Now they're bouncing around. Couldn't fill it up. There was a 10-yard penalty. I'm not sure what the penalty was for against Boston English. Tony Bello with the big play. Picked it up at the 29-yard line. Looked like he might take it into the end zone. And it just got bumped and knocked down at the 17. And that was pretty good for St. Mary's, as you get a look at the crowd that's here tonight. And then they turn around and they mark off 10 more yards. Actually got it to the 14-yard line. And it was half the distance to the goal with the penalty. And that gave St. Mary's the first down. Their second first down by way of penalty. And they have it first and goal at the 7. Looking for their first points of the season. Flag on the play. That's got to be against St. Mary's. That stopped the play. They mark it back to the 12. First and goal from the 12. Off the left side. Ball went to the ground. Boston English says they have it. There's a pile up on the bottom there. You don't want to be in the bottom of that pile. Boston English has the ball.
Boston English takes over first and 10, ball for St. Mary's 10-yard line.
So it goes by the boards. Had a golden opportunity, first and goal at the 7. Penalty on the first play. Fumble on the second play. And Boston English will have it at their own 10-yard line. Looking to throw, he's in trouble. Didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. So they try to fool St. Maybe they run. Now they come out and try to throw the ball. And he gets hit in the backfield. They put it down Hard to pick up the yard markers. Looks like the 8.
Loss of about 2 on the play.
So they lose 2. 2nd and 12. The wideout goes to the far side. They stay in the power I. And now that's going to cost Boston. They jumped. That's going to push him deeper. He only pushed it back to the 5-yard line. Turns out to be a 3-yard penalty. I think they marked it off in the original line of scrimmage instead of where it should have been marked off at.
And it'll make it a 2nd down and 16.
So it'll be 2nd down and 15. The wideout comes to the near side. They stay in that power I. Deep man is 4 yards deep in the end zone. Off the right side, I don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Sean Kerr, the ball carrier. No gain on the play.
They lost back to the 3. They lose 2 more. Actually, we'll call it the 4. Loss of a yard. So they need 16 yards. Third and 16, otherwise they're going to be punting from deep in their end zone. They break that power I. Motion to the far side. They fake the quick out. They throw it quickly to the tight end. They won't have to kick from the end zone, but they're going to have to kick.
Pass complete to number 17. Hakeem Hogan.
Mark,
Gain of about 6 on the play.
Fiorio got it to the 15-yard line. They picked up 11. 4th down, they're lining up like they're going to go for it. Now we're going to get a timeout call by Boston English.
Boston English.
2 ticks under 5 minutes left in this first half. No score, St. Mary's and Boston English. So again, the wheel's turning. They can't be going to go for this. They have the ball at the 15-yard line. 4th down and 5. You surely don't want to give St. Mary's the football this deep. Last 2 possessions, minus 8 yards for Boston English. I don't know if they're trying to draw. If they're trying to draw him offside. They line up to punt. Kick is away. They get out of the way and let it roll. It's going to roll to the 49-yard line. 4:45 left. St. Mary's would love to go down and score. Get a little momentum going into the locker room. Boston English will get the ball to start the second half. Trying to run off the left side, can't.
Now, lead on the ball carrier.
They lose a yard.
Loss of 1 on the play.
2nd and 11.
Bring up a 2nd down and 11. Ball for the infield strike.
O'Leary with the keep. Wrapped up as he falls forward for short yardage. Got it to the 48-yard line.
Gain of 2 on the play. Correction, gain of 3 on the
3rd
play.
and 9.
A 3rd and 7. Flag on the play.
Flag on the play. Everybody would look like a fire drill. Everybody moving. Didn't snap the ball. And they're going to move it all the way back to the 47-yard line of St. Mary's.
Ball start, St. Mary's.
St. Mary's has 1 yard of offense in the third period. They only have 27 yards of offense in the game. 4 first downs, 2 of them by penalty. O'Leary dumps it off, caught, and dumped almost immediately. That's Percy.
Gain of about 6 on the play.
They got back to the line of scrimmage plus a yard. The Boston English 48.
A 4th down.
They picked up 5 on the pass play. Clock is running. They'll be under 2 minutes when they get this punt away. White and Jordy returns it.
Jordy White on the return.
Looks like the 21-yard line.
Darker by
See what Boston English does. They're going to get the ball to start the second half.
Boston English takes over.
Now they put it down at the 20-yard line.
2-yard line.
So St. Mary's has 32 yards of offense in a half. 5 of them coming on that last pass play that got them just inside Boston English territory. Boston English isn't that far ahead. They got 37. Off the right side for maybe a yard. That's another running back for them.
Caution on the carry.
Pedro Barrera
Back to number 14, Jack Marks.
got to the 21.
Loss of 1 on the play. 2nd down and 11.
2nd down and 9. Closest either team came was the big play by Tony Bello. Ball popped up in the air, he picked it off, looked like he was going to run it in. St. Mary's had a 1st and goal. They just knocked Bello down before he ran it in the end zone. A penalty pushed it down inside the 10. Now they run into a stack of players. They drop the football, and they're going to wind up back inside the 15.
Boston English recover their own fumble. Timeout, St. Mary's.
St. Mary's will take a timeout. That might be their last. They move it back to the 14. They lost 7 yards. Boston English has 14 yards minus rushing in the second period. And the only thing that helped them was an 11-yard pass, so they have minus 3 yards in the second period. After having that one drive that got them down to the 23-yard line. They had it 1st and 10 at the 23. They got it to the 18. A penalty cost them. A nice run by Kerr. Keyshawn Kerr. He came up 1 yard shy of the first down at the 14-yard line, and that's the closest they've come. That was their last. They had one plus play after that, and it was for 1 yard. They may be going to take a knee here. Nope, they run it. They lost the football. St. Mary's is indicating they have it.
Ty Smith on the key, tackled by Jack Marks.
Nick Nowak recovered it. They ran all kinds of fakes, like they're going to throw it, run it. They wind up back at the 11-yard line. Boston English has 2 first downs, one of them by penalty. Now we got a flag on the play. O'Leary takes off and runs out of bounds.
O'Leary on the quarterback key.
Let's see what the flag is about.
Flags on the play. Penalty against St. Mary's for holding.
It's against St. Mary's for a hold. So each time they've got close, they've shot themselves in the foot. They move it back to the 22. So it winds up an 11-yard penalty.
Penalty will make it a 1st and 20. Off the Boston English 22.
So 1st and 21 from the 22-yard line. O'Leary in trouble. Lobs it up, throws it out of bounds.
O'Leary's pass intended for number 4, David Brown, is incomplete.
Second and long. 17 seconds left. St. Mary's has 1 timeout left. O'Leary at the sideline looking for a play. expecting him to pass. Boston English is getting in, forcing him to run with the ball. Can't stay in the pocket, look downfield. He's kind of be looking and running at the same time. They send two wideouts to the near side. From the shotgun, rolling to the near side again. Looking, in trouble. Lost the football. Boston English got it.
St. Mary's fumble recovered by Boston English. Boston English takes over.
Josiah Jean recovers.
First and 10 from their own 27-yard line.
At the 27.
How about Boston English?
St. Mary's lost 5 on the play. If you're Boston English, you might just take a knee and get out of here and say, we get the ball to start the second half. St. Mary's with 27 yards of offense in the first half. 22 rushing, 4 first downs, 2 by penalty. Eight seconds showing on the clock. St. Mary's has got guys back about 40 yards. Let's see what they do here. They got a wide out. They break that power eye. Flag on the play. Illegal procedure.
Ball starting against Boston English. Penalty will make it a first and 15.
First and 15. Again, I don't know why they just don't take a knee. Get out of here. St. Mary's has 27 yards. Boston English has 29 yards. Both teams have picked up a penalty, a first down by way of penalty. Boston English hasn't got a first down since the opening drive after they picked off the pass and shut St. Mary's down. They get 2 first downs on that drive. They haven't had one since. They throw it high and deep. It's caught.
High smash pass, complete to number 17.
Hakeem
Results in a first down. That is the end of the half.
Hakeem Alogan got out to the 43.
0-0.
They picked up 21 yards in that pass play. They only had 29 yards of offense before that pass. So they go over 50 on the last play of the half. Back and forth we go. Penalties cost St. Mary's dearly. They had good field position, couldn't cash in. Boston English hasn't been close yet. They had one drive down deep, came up a yard shy, did nothing in the second period. We started dead even. We finished the first half dead even. St. Mary's nothing, Boston English nothing at the end of the first half. Welcome back as we're getting started the second half here at Manning Field. We're starting it the same way we started the first half. The only difference is St. Mary's will be kicking off because it's still 0-0. Boston English used a lot of running backs. Boston English wound up with 50 yards of offense. $21 of them coming on the last play of the half. They only had 29 yards of offense and 2 first downs before that. One of those first downs was by way of penalty. St. Mary's only came up with 27 yards of offense, 22 rushing, 1 pass play for 5. They got 4 first downs. 2 of their first downs came by penalty. So nobody piling up any yardage anywhere. And Boston English almost doubled their offensive output on the last pass play. St. Mary's, a little pooch kick. Banging going on. The ball is on the ground. St. Mary's obviously right away say they have it, and they do.
And there is an onside kick recovered by St. Mary's.
Zach Barden.
Called the first and 10.
Zach Barden fell on it. Boston English tried to start the game like that with an onside kick. It didn't work.
Boston English
St. Mary's onside kick works. So they put it at the 47-yard line of Boston English. So it'll be St. Mary's, same way we started, with the football. Trying to come to the near side. Gonna get buried.
Alfredo, the ball carrier.
Pedro Barrero wouldn't let him turn the corner.
Loss of 3 on the play. Second down and 13.
Shal Aflito lost 3. So 2nd and 13. They tried sweep right, and Boston English just got there, wouldn't let him turn the corner. They fake it. O'Leary trying to go outside. Didn't quite get back to the line of scrimmage. As we've got a little scuffle going on away from the football.
Gain of 2 on play.
They get to the 48. Still didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and 11. Third and 11 from the Boston English 48. O'Leary in trouble. Lets it fly. Tipped and knocked away. He threw that up saying, maybe somebody can run under this. But Omari Stevens knocked it away.
4th and 12.
Here to bring up 4th and 11. And they're going to have to kick it away. Kick is away. This one takes a good St. Mary's bounce. A very good St. Mary's bounce. All the way down to about the 6-yard line. That's a good 42-yard kick. And they're going to be stuck deep. They're back to the goalpost. At the Boston English 6-yard line. They'll have it for the first time here in the second half. So St. Mary's got what they wanted. They recovered the onside kick, but they couldn't do anything with it. First and 10 from the 6. They break that power out. They send the wide out to the near side. And now, there's the jump. It's going to cost them. That should be half the distance. They move it back to the 3. So 1st and 13 from the 3-yard line. Again, the wideout comes to the near side. They run it to the right side. The flag coming in at the end of the play. Luke McDonald with the carry.
Right on the plate.
That might be a face mask because his helmet came off. Face mask against St. Mary's. He got out to the 7 for a pickup of 4. That's going to be the second penalty by.
First down, first and 10 Boston.
They move it out to the 23.
Off their own 23-yard line.
Well, it turns out to be, in essence, a 20-yard penalty. Wing in the wide out to the far side. Dropped in the backfield. Big time play by Zach Barden. Ball back to the, looks like the 18, we'll call it the 19. A loss of 4.
Almost 5 on the play.
Second and 14. Both teams have a lot of trouble getting the offense going. They go back to that power I. Off the right side, going no place. They're going to lose yardage again. Omari Stevens with the carry.
Barden on the tackle.
They lost 2 more.
Third down and 17.
3rd and 16 from the 17-yard line. The play comes from the sideline. Boston East hasn't done anything since their opening drive. They almost lost the football. They're going to lose yardage again. They lose back to the 15 for a loss of 2. Alec Colasidi made the tackle.
Eric Melanges on the tackle.
They're going to have to kick the ball away.
So we bring up a 4th and long.
High kick. Takes a bit of a St. Mary's bounce. They finally knock it down at about the 36-yard line. St. Mary's going to have outstanding field position.
Off the Boston English. 36.
At the 36-yard line of Boston English. First and 10 from there. Off the right side with a head of steam up, breaks the tackle, slowed down but kept going inside the 15-yard line. Nice hard run by George Percy.
Percy, the ball carrier. Picked up by number 42, DeAndre Paul.
That's St. Mary's first down since their opening drive of the ball game. Their other 3 first downs came by way of penalty.
First and 10, St. Mary's ball for Boston English 14.
The ball's at the 12. 24 yards. They run Percy off the right side again.
The ball carrier.
They'll get a couple to the 10.
Jenkins, Usogi on the tackle. Gain of about
2nd
3.
and 8.
Down to 7, ball from the 10-yard line.
St. Mary's was down here before and they fumbled it away. Running right, getting stacked up by a few white shirts.
Tackled by a host of Boston English defenders.
They're going to give him a yard to the 9. So it's going to be 3rd and 7 from the 9-yard line.
To bring up a 3rd and 6, ball from the 9-yard
I
line.
don't know if St. Mary's has a kicker. Off the left side. They keep pushing him forward. They push him forward for a first down, almost a touchdown. St. Mary's is signaling touchdown, but they're not going to give it to him. Boston English comes away with the ball. They're not going to get that either. That was Alfredo.
Ball just inside the 3-yard line.
We'll call it the 3 and give them 6 and make it 1st and goal. They go double wing. O'Leary with a quarterback sneak. He's in for the touchdown.
Touchdown, Derek O'Leary.
O'Leary gets the first score of the year for the Spartans. 36 yards and 5 carries. They had 25 yards of offense before this last drive. They got 36 on the ground on that last drive. 27 of them picked up by Percy. They line up that double wing to go for 2. No, they don't. They go back to the spread. Try to run it off the left side. Not going to get there. Alfredo just shy.
No good, but there was a flag on the play. And with 3:54 left,
So we're just under 4 minutes left in the 3rd period. St. Mary's gets on the board for the first time in 2019. They more than double their offensive output on that one drive. I don't think you're going to see an onside kick here. Barton getting set to kick off. He pooched it again. I'm kind of shocked. I didn't think they want to give him that kind of field position. They recovered one.
42
But now they're going to give him very good field position. They're going to put it at the 49-yard line. I'm kind of surprised at that. Unless he was trying to line drive it by them, push it further downfield. So they split the backfield with the wide out to the near side, the wing to the near side. They run it straight ahead. Tyrese Ford gets it to the St. Mary's 48. Picked up 3.
On the play, second down and 7. Ball for St. Mary's 48.
Second and 7. Now they go back to that power I with the wide out to the near side. Fullback again, not going anywhere. Piled up at the line of scrimmage. A lot of blue shirts around that play. No gain on the play. Went forward. Maybe a stripe of the football. So it's going to be 3rd and 7. We mentioned they've done nothing since their opening drive where they just came up short. They came up a yard shy of the St. Mary's 14-yard line. And they haven't done anything since. Coming to the near side. They get pushed forward. They're going to be about a yard shy. Depending where they mark it, they're going to be close. DeAndre Ball with the carry. They give him the 41 for a first down. He needed 7. He got 7. They run it to the right side with a head of steam up. Omari Stevens. Down the 35. Give him 6. Second and 4. Under a minute. Everybody standing like somebody was going to cut time out, but it was just a substitution change getting in and off the field for St. Mary's. Inside handoff, they actually push him forward for a first down. Ellery Best. We told you beforehand they had 22 running backs listed on their roster. They've used about 28. He picked up 7 and a first down. So Boston English on the move. St. Mary's gave him good field position with that little pooch kick. Trying to squeeze ahead. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage. Not much more than that. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 as the period comes to a close. St. Mary scored. They went 36 yards in 5 plays. Percy, the main ball carrier, but then the quarterback, Derek O'Leary, squeezed it in from the 3-yard line on a quarterback sneak. The rush for the conversion was no good. And now Boston English trying to get themselves back in the game. They picked up 2 first downs. St. Mary's came back. Instead of kicking it deep, they kicked it to the front line of Boston English and gave Boston English good field position at their own 49. They converted on 3rd and long. They picked up another first down on 2 plays. Now it's going to be 2nd and 10 from the 28. "12 minutes left in this opening game for both teams." We mentioned Lynn Tech and Classical got started last week a little bit early.
Play resumes. First and 10 Boston English off the St. Mary's 28-yard line.
They stay in that power eye. Wideout comes to the near side. Off the left side with a head of steam. Close to first down. Might be about a yard shy.
Stevens, the ball carrier.
And that's Omari Stevens.
Second down and 2.
They mark it down. We'll call it the 21. They need a short 3, a long 2. Everybody in tight with the wide out to the far side. Big hole off the left side. They get the first down. Luke McDonald with the carry.
Driveway ball carrier. Flag on the play.
Flag on the play. And it's coming from the spot of the foul, which was the 25. They're going to move it back to the 30.
Ball's against Boston English. That will make it a 3rd and 12. Ball
3rd and 12. Again, the whiteout comes to the near side. St. Mary's jumped. That's going to cost them 5.
flag on the play. Offside defense.
So that moves it down to the 25. They need 7. They've got 2 downs to get it, so that may change the offense a little bit. They may be able to run twice rather than put the ball up if they needed 12. Now the wideout goes to the far side, staying in that power eye. Try to run to the left side. Flag coming in at the end of the play. And another flag coming in. All kinds of flags coming in. Boston English turned around and kind of slapping in front of the St. Mary's player face, thinking the St. Mary's player got caught. You have to sort this out. It's flag day here at Manning Field. They haven't put the ball down yet, so I don't know what kind of yardage they gave him. Not that it'll make any difference. Officials are trying to get together to see what they're gonna call. Just over 10 minutes left in the game. St. Mary's leading it 6-0. Boston English driving. Now we're going to see what they're going to call. Holding against Boston English. There's another penalty against St. Mary's. They're going to mark off the hold against Boston English. Then they're going to mark off 15 against St. Mary's. So they marked off 10 from the 28 on the hold. Then they mark off 15 from the 38 after the penalty. It winds up at the 23-yard line. And it winds up with a 3rd and 5. So all told on that, at the end of that play, Boston English picks up 2. It was 3rd and 7. Now it's going to be 3rd and 5. After all that going through, St. Mary's unsportsmanlike. Boston English with the hold. Quarterback keep, he's going to get drilled in the backfield and they're going to lose yardage. He gave up a lot of ground just trying to get around the corner and wound up getting knocked down at the 30-yard line. He lost 7.
That'll make it a 4th and 12, ball from the 30-yard line.
Fourth down here. They're at the 30. They need the 18. So 4th and 12. Now they're going to take a timeout. They were covering around the backfield. They were out of position. They were trying to get into position. And they finally said, call a timeout. First of 3. We were talking about the different rule changes. The hash marks you see out on this field are not correct. They're supposed to be maybe 4 or 5 yards nearer to the sideline on either side. And what's supposed to be happening, the teams are supposed to put those orange cones on the back end line of the end zone to line up so the officials can line up the ball where it's supposed to be snapped rather than on these hash marks. They're using these hash marks, but these hash marks really are not appropriate. They're not legal, if you will. So they're supposed to put orange cones next to the goalpost at the back end line and line them up as to where the hash marks would be so the officials can look and say, line it up and bring the ball out far left, far right. Instead, they're lining them up where the hash marks are here because they don't put the cones down. And the difference too is they just had 12 guys in a huddle, but they don't get a penalty. They should get a penalty here for starting early. They throw the pass downfield. Picked off. Affolito picked it off. St. Mary's loses about 10 yards, but they want to make sure the pass wasn't complete. So they'll put it at the St. Mary's 20. St. Mary's will have it. Boston English is shut down again. They have 2 drives that took them into St. Mary's territory. They had a first down way back when. the 23, they got it down to the 18. A penalty pushed them back. A 10-yard run got them 1 yard shy, and they turned the ball over at the 14. Now they drive all the way down, 1st and 10 at the 28. They get it to the 20, and they push back. Hershey with the carry.
John Cressy, the ball carrier. Gain of 9 on the play. Second down and 1.
Out 2, we'll call it the 29 and give them 9. So St. Mary's can run some valuable time off the clock here, if nothing else. 2nd and 1. Hershey again off the right side with a head of steam, gets the first down and a little bit more.
Ball carrier. Gain of about 5 on the play. They results in a first down. 1st and 10 St. Mary's.
They give him the 33 for a pickup of 4.
Ball from their own 33-yard line.
1st and 10, under 8 minutes. We'll be closing in on 7 when they snap the ball. St. Mary's in no hurry. Looking to run that clock down, leading 6-0. Coming to the near side, gets a little bit of help from his friends. Affolito.
First of the ball carrier.
Picked up 3.
Harry scored on the tackle. Gain of about 3 on the play. Second down and 7.
Yeah, we got a problem with one of the St. Mary's players out, equipment out with the helmet, or the official might have saw some blood a little bit, but they take the player out. That's Percy, I think. Closing in on 6 minutes when they snap the ball. Nicole Gagnon, the trainer, taking a look at the player. O'Leary with the keep, straight ahead. Gets pushed forward for a couple of extra yards, close to first down yardage. Probably about a yard away. Depending where they put it. We're going to St. Mary's player down. Nicole Gagnon has to hustle out to the field to check on that player. They put the ball at the 43. I think they may be going to measure this. They're going to measure to see if he made the first down. They needed the first down. He either made it or missed it by like the stripe of a football. They bring the chains out and they'll stretch them out while they're working on the St. Mary's player down on the field. They stretch it out. He's an inch shy of the first down. So there's a case where they make 9.99 yards, and they're one length of the chain away from a first down. Now they switch back to the player that's down. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Looks like he's trying to get up, which is a pretty good sign. He's up. He's getting helped off. Austin Adusi. So exactly 6 minutes left in the game. St. Mary's needs a chain length to get a first down.
Boston English 43.
And we hope young Mr. Ducey's going to be okay. Nicole Gagner's working on him on the sideline. They can run some more valuable time off the clock if they can pick up a first down. They go to the double wing. O'Leary with the quarterback sneak gets it easily.
O'Leary on the keep and the first down.
Across the 45 to the 46. He needed an inch. He got 3 yards. And there'll be under 5 minutes left when they snap the football. So St. Mary's trying to ice this away, leading 6-0, getting their touchdown in the third period. And Boston English came close twice. They had it 1st and 10 at the 23. They had it 3rd down at the 24. They needed 11 yards. They got 10. They run into a stone wall there.
Kersey, the ball carrier. Ellery just served number 33 on the tackle.
Rosarius lost 3.
Play second down and 13. Ball for St. Mary's 43.
Al, they'll be under 4 minutes when they snap the football. They send a wide out to the far side. Motion going to the far side. Little reverse. They slip a tackle, get around the corner. Nice run. Affolito. They're into Boston English territory. Nice run. They sent one running back in motion to the far side, and he used a little fake going that way, little inside handoff to Affolito. He gets to the 33-yard line. That's a 20-yard run. Put St. Mary's over 100 yards rushing. It took them a long time. First possession of this second half, they only had 25 yards rushing. They went on that 36-yard trip to get the touchdown. Now they started this drive at their 20. And they're at the 33-yard line. And they're eating up the clock and eating up some yardage. O'Leary straight ahead.
O'Leary on the keep. McDonald.
Gets a couple.
And a 3 on the play.
All Boston English can do is just watch the clock winding down. Now you almost have to tackle the football. St. Mary's taking as much time as they can between snaps. This will be the 9th play of this drive. Percy off the right side, not going to go anywhere. Gets piled up.
Ball carrier.
He might have lost a yard.
Timeout Boston English.
Boston English finally uses one of their timeouts. They lost a yard on the play, St. Mary's. 5 ticks under 3 minutes left in the game. Even if Boston English gets it back, they're going to have to do something they haven't been prone to do, and that's throw the football. Third down and 9 for the Spartans as we come out of the timeout. Ball at the 32-yard line of Boston English. St. Mary's eating up a lot of clock on this last drive. Tenth play of the drive coming up. There was about a little over 8 minutes left when they got the ball. There's 2:55 left now. They try to run it to the near side. It got blocked. They try to go up in the middle. They get back to the line of scrimmage. And it's going to bring up a 4th down and 9.
No gain on the play.
4th and 9 from the 32-yard line. If everything is going to let some time run off the clock and maybe call a timeout. Because O'Leary's on the sideline. He's not even thinking about getting back to the huddle. And they're going to let it run down. And then they're going to call a timeout. Coach Driscoll signals timeout as it gets under 2 minutes. 1:58 left in the game. Cole Gagnon, the trainer, doesn't have enough work to do. She's on the sideline picking up all the water bottles. $1:58 left. Class. St. Mary's eating up a lot of time off the clock here. And they're trying to hold on to a 6-0 lead. Boston English trying to get the ball back. St. Mary's would love to come up with a play to get a 1st down here. And that would just about ice it. Boston English looking to get the ball back to have one last shot, hoping to complete a couple of passes to get downfield. Something they've only done twice, and both times they came up short. Big play here. The wideout goes to the far side. Trying to sweep, trying to get around the corner, not going to get there. Ayuch got to the 30 for a pickup of 2. So if the game ends this way, St. Mary's has 112 yards of offense, 107 on the ground. Percy's been the workhorse, along with Affolito. And now Boston English will have one final shot. And they're looking to run the ball and not going anywhere.
No gain on the play. 2nd down Off the Boston English 30.
They lost a yard to the 29. It's going to be 2nd down and 11. I was surprised they ran the ball. And they're running it again.
Laurie Stevens, the ball carrier.
You're in a hurry-up mood. I take it back. They're not even hurrying.
Almost 8 on the play, second down. Correction, 3rd down and 2.
They picked up 9.
38.
3rd and 2. We're down to 45 seconds. You're running the plays like it's the first half. In trouble. Wrapped up and knocked down. Nowak finished them off. Great forward progress. A great coverage inside. They got great penetration. They lost 6 yards on the play.
We'll bring up a 4th and 8.
The clock is running, and they're going back in the huddle, calling a play. They still have 2 timeouts left. I don't know what they're doing. 2 wideouts to the far side, 1 to the near side. They'll be lucky to get this play off. And they snap it over his head. Flag coming in at the end. Let's see what the flag is about. It can't end on a penalty. It's against Boston English. They lost back to the 13. They lost 19 yards. I have to say, I don't know what they were doing on that last series. They had 2 timeouts left. They weren't going hurry-up offense. They wasted an awful lot of time. They ran the ball. They didn't throw the ball. Judy, I'll call you back. They just ran the clock out, and they finally went to throw the ball, and they couldn't. They lost 19 yards on the play. They wind up with 53 yards of offense. 6 first downs, but 2 of them came on St. Mary's penalties. St. Mary's wind up with 112. Both teams had trouble moving the football. Boston English got close. They needed 11 yards on They need 11 yards. They ran it for 10 and missed by a yard. They got it back again. They had a first down at the 28. They got it down to the 20. There was a series of penalties pushing it back. They wound up turning the ball over when the quarterback got sacked for a 7-yard loss. Those are the only 2 times they even came close. St. Mary's had a couple of opportunities. They got down close. The big play, a pop-up, ball popped loose. Tony Beto picked it off in the air. The big lineman looked like he was going to run it in. Got knocked down after a 7-yard return. After a 15-yard return. A penalty against Boston English put it at the 7. But the St. Mary's got a penalty. And then they wound up fumbling the ball away, and they couldn't score. But they finally got it going in the 3rd period. After a short punt, gave them the ball to 36. It was Percy picking up 24. He picked up 3 more on 2 carries. Effolito got it down to the 3. And then on a first down from the 3-yard line, the quarterback, Derek O'Leary, snuck in from the 3 to make it 6-0, and that was all St. Mary's needed as they pitched the shutout against Boston English, and they got the 1 touchdown. They win it by a score of 6-0. They'll go 1-0 in the early season. Boston English will drop to 0-1, and that 1 touchdown by O'Leary was all they wrote. St. Mary's had trouble. Coming into the second half, after their first possession, they only had 25 yards rushing, but the last 2 series, 36 yards for the touchdown, and then they picked it off in the end zone at Folito. They ran a lot of time off the clock, down to just under 2 minutes left, and they ran a lot of plays, picked up some yardage, and wound up going over 100 yards rushing, 107 to be exact, 112 for the game, 9 first downs. 4 of those were penalties against Boston English. So the first game for St. Mary's is in the books. They pitch a shutout. They win it 6-0 over Boston English in a non-league game here at Manning Field. St. Mary's goes to 1-0. Boston English 0-1. 6-0 on the lone touchdown by Derek O'Leary, and that's the final score. St. Mary's 6, Boston English nothing. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm Don Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.